Hi, welcome to the Rittner Floral School in Boston, Mass. I'm Dr. Steve Rittner, and it's a pleasure to welcome you into one of our classrooms today. The theme of this particular video is making a contemporary Chanukah design, and I think that you guys are going to really find it interesting and fun. Like every particular holiday or every particular event, we can come up with some beautiful florals for the Chanukah holiday. And we can go in many, many different directions. We can create designs that are more traditional. We can create designs that have a little bit more way out look or a more contemporary kind of feel to it. Now here, for example, is a lovely arrangement for Chanukah. It is composed using some blue hydrangea, some white spray roses, some blue millimeter balls. We're making use of some seasonal foliage. It works very, very well for the season. It is a lovely design. And this is a design that could grace a table and look very, very nice. We have some blue ribbon inside here, and we're definitely playing with the colors of blue and white, which definitely say Chanukah. Blue and white is derived from the colors of both the Israeli flag and also of a traditional prayer shawl, which could be black and white or blue and white, and therefore thinking of it in terms of the colors of the prayer shawl or talit, as well as the flag, it works very, very well for the Chanukah season. Well, this is a more traditional kind of design. It's beautiful, it's absolutely sumptuous, and this is the kind of thing that would look great on anybody's table because just the rich hydrangea and the spray roses and the millimeter balls work so well. But on this video, we're not going to do a traditional style. We're going to show you how you can go traditional, but you can also go in other directions. And for example, what we're going to do on this one is we're going to play with a slightly different look for the holiday because I want you, my viewer, to see how we can go in many, many different directions on these things. We're going to still make use of the same concept of blue and white, but we're going to handle our materials a little bit differently. Now we have here a glass container. It's an oval-shaped glass container, and we've got some really, really cool materials in here. These are gel beads. Gel beads. They're really, really cool. They come in a variety of colors, and we have deliberately picked the blue color on our gel beads to play with. And because Chanukah is often associated with light and with the fact that the menorah is lit every night and so forth, and it's the miracle of the lights lasting so long, we thought it would be kind of nice to work some lights into this as well. And I'm going to take a couple of my alkalites. These are a really cool item that basically are a little light that we can incorporate into our designing. And I'm going to incorporate a couple of my alkalites into this design so that we have a little bit of light worked into it. And then I'm going to add a little bit more in terms of my gel beads. So we're going to come up with something that I think you, my viewer, are going to find kind of cool. And while the alkalites may not last the 8 nights of Chanukah, certainly they do hold very, very nicely. And eventually when they go, we'll still have the really cool effect of the blue gel beads. Now we're going to use some other interesting materials in here. One of the materials that we're going to be playing with is birch branch. Isn't this neat? Birch branch. It's a lovely material. It's seasonally available. It works very, very well. And I'm going to take it, and rather than putting my birch branch in right side up, I'm putting it in upside down. Why not? And the gel beads hold it very, very nicely. I can put in a full branch of my birch branch, or I can take a section of a branch and work it in. And notice that by taking a section, I'm hanging it a little bit over the side, and it gives a kind of an interesting effect as well. Well, if one is good, maybe 2 are better. And so I'm going to take a second section of birch branch, and I'm going to work this one in, and I'm going to work this one in towards the middle. So I've got a second one in here. So we're adding a second one to this design. So now I have a second one. But wait, there's more. Let's add a third one. And once again, although we would conventionally use our birch branch in this direction, I am going to deliberately take my birch branch, turn it upside down, and I'm embedding it in here. And again, the gel beads really help me hold this thing in place. And now I've got a very, very interesting kind of composition with my 3 sections of birch branch being placed into my container. And we've got an interesting kind of parallel effect here. Now obviously if we're going to do something like this, we should add some flowers, because so far we do have something very interesting going on, making use of the birch branch, but I want to incorporate some florals into this as well. And I'm going to, again, stay with my color scheme in terms of the white and the blue, and I'm going to make use of some of my carnations. I've got some white carnations, and I'm going to work some white carnations in here. So I'm taking some white carnations and incorporating a few white carnations into my design. And then let's add a little bit more in terms of our white carnations. I'm going to take another one and place it over in here. The interesting thing about some of these contemporary things is we can sometimes go minimalist and use a little of different things and come up with some interesting effects. And so I have essentially a couple of carnations here, a couple of carnations there. Let's continue with the concept of the blue, and I'm going to take my blue millimeter balls. You saw them in the last design, and I'm going to incorporate some blue millimeter balls into this one as well. We'll work some over here. Maybe we can work some right here in between my carnations and have a little section coming over like this. And then finally, let's take a third section of our millimeter balls and bring it over to the side and let it just gently drape down on that side of the design. And now we have an interesting composition, a contemporary arrangement for Chanukah. So my viewer, I think you can see we can come up with some very, very interesting things. We can do things, if we want to, for this holiday that are more on the traditional side, and certainly these are gorgeous and great. We can also play with contemporary designing and apply it to this holiday as well. And you can see, my viewer, quick, easy, and fun. That's the Rittner Floral School way. Quick, easy, and fun. So don't be afraid to take your materials, take your branches, turn them upside down, incorporate a few flowers, play with gel beads, add some light to it because it is the Festival of Lights, and you, my viewer, can come up with things ranging from classical to kinky on your designing and come up with some interesting effects for this amazing holiday. I'm Dr. Steve Rittner. On behalf of all of us here at Rittner's Floral School, we thank you for coming in to visit with us today. Please do come back and visit more in our video series of different kinds of designs. Thank you.